Welcome back to our evolution unit. Remember Charles Darwin, the scientist who went to the Galapagos Islands to study the animals? He was the first person to draw a phylogenetic tree, which shows common traits between different species. Mutations, which are random changes in our DNA, can sometimes help an animal adapt to their environment and better survive. For example, these giraffes had a random mutation that gave them longer necks. It turned out this helped them adapt to be able to eat leaves higher up in the air, and they could survive and have more babies. This is called natural selection. Remember when we learned about the mice who had a mutation that changed their fur color, but that ended up helping them survive because predators couldn't eat them because their fur was the same as the rocks where they lived. Today we'll look more at natural selection as we look at finches, which are a type of bird, on the Galapagos Islands. Charles Darwin noticed that the finches all had different beak depths, and he wondered why. Beak depth is how deep or long a beak is from the top to the bottom. He thought it might have something to do with environmental change, drought, having very, very little rain, and abundant rainfall, having a lot of rain. Today, you'll explore this in a gizmo. When you go to the gizmo, you'll need to log in however your teacher has told you up here. Once you're in, you'll search for the gizmo by typing rain. You'll see two options, rainfall in bird beaks and rainfall in bird beaks metrics. You want the one without metrics. Click here to launch the gizmo. Once you're here, you'll see we've got our finches and their beak depths, and over here we can change the amount of rain that they have. First, you're going to see what happens to the finch population when they have average rainfall. So you'll press here. This shows you the initial conditions, and this shows you how it's changing. I'm going to pause it here because I don't want to give it away, but we can see after 2 years, the number of finches changed from 1,000 to 940, and the average beak depth changed from 9.79 to 9.77. Not very much. When you do it, you'll run the experiment for the full 5 years. Then you'll press refresh. Make sure you press this or it won't work. And you'll change it to be a drought. So 2 inches of rainfall every year. You'll run the simulation and see what happens to the number of finches and to the beak depth. Finally, you'll change the rainfall to 20 centimeters, which is abundant rainfall. That's a lot of rain. And you'll see what happens to the number of finches and their average beak depth. Have fun exploring how birds adapt to different levels of rainfall.